We're live.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is our weekly Flow office hours where we check in with the community, say hi, tell you about what's happening. We've got a couple demos today. One from a participant known as Flowverse. They will not be with us, but they've kindly provided a video. And we will also be hearing from our friend BZ, who's in the house, who will be demoing Basic Beast. But before we do that, we're just going to go around the Discord room and say hi. So I'm Albert. I happen to be a solutions engineer on the Flow team. And say hi, whoever is next.
Hello all, this is Greg Santos. I am a JavaScript engineer on the Flow team as well, working on the SDK, FCL, and various other things. Nice to see you all, hear you all this morning. Pass it on.
Hi, Jan is here from the Flow team, working on the Flow virtual machine mostly, and with the fees. That's it from me.
Cool. Hi everyone, my name is Kim. I'm the dev advocate for Flow. I create and curate content to make Flow more accessible to developers and others. I pass it on to Mac.
Morning, y'all. Mac here. Thanks. I'm also part of the developer experience team on Flow, working on, basically like Kim, trying to make Flow more friendly for devs, more approachable. That's it. Yeah. Pass it on to whoever is next in alphabetical order.
Gregor, you want to say hi?
Gregor.
Okay, maybe we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come
Sure, enjoy. Crickets. Stringjoy is an amazing individual who is head of product on the Flow developer experience team. I happen to work with him closely. I hope he gets to say hi at some point. Was there anybody else that I missed here? I think we're good. Are we good, Kim?
I think we're good.
Right on. Right on.
Team-wise, all good.
Right on. So let's jump in to this week's TLDR.
Awesome. Let's do it. Oh, wait a moment. Let me stream that for you guys. There we go. I'll give you guys a second to click in.
Be sure to set your volume nice and high. Right click, stream volume, slide that thing over to the right.
Sounds good. And we're starting. Welcome back to another week's updates in the Flow ecosystem. As always, my name is Kim, and this is TLDR updates on Flow. Hope you brought your umbrellas because it's raining packs on Flow right now, with the first full week of FlowFest packs being dropped. Just this week, we've had drops from Sturdy Exchange, Extingles, Racing Time, and Starly, with Eternal wrapping up the week with their drop on Friday. We've seen plenty of excitement across the community, especially as folks rip into their FlowFest mystery packs. There's still plenty of drops all the way up to November 30th, and I'm here to share what's on the calendar for FlowFest drops next week. We kick off drops with Matrix World on the 26th, a 3D immersive open virtual world where users can own spaces called lands that they retain complete control over. OVO, the only value observation, is dropping their Japanese idols on the 28th. My NFT is up next on the 29th, and Mungeon Art and their augmented reality platform on the 30th. Remember to bookmark the Flowverse site
First
for
record,
the
2016.
full FlowFest Drops Calendar. Ready to learn more about Racing Time? The next generation racing game being built on Flow. Racing Time is the first Unity 3D based racing game in the Flow ecosystem. Their team is being led by a group of gaming industry veterans that are ready to help solve one of the biggest challenges: providing true item ownership in gaming. Racing Time features several tiers of cars with over 50 parts and gadgets to let players modify and customize their rides. Their Genesis drop is just 10,000 packs across 3 scarcities, launching this week. And only 300 SS tiers, the top of the top cars, are hidden away in the drop. The Genesis presale ends after 72 hours, and any remaining packs will be burnt permanently. So head over to the link below, check out Racing Time, and see if you can grab a pack. Graphel is a powerful service that allows developers to read, write, and access data off of the Flow blockchain with any language and tools that they already know and love, like REST APIs and webhooks. Their team has been working with the developer community on Flow to learn what kinds of tools that they need, and they're ready to deliver. Learn more about how Graphel is building a middle layer that makes developing on Flow easier, faster, and more secure in our partner spotlight. And also check out the Flowverse ecosystems rankings page to see some of their work in action. And now over to our weekly FlipFest recap. Over 600 people have registered for the first ever build-a-thon on Flow. There are 26 issues in motion with 35 submissions being made from teams and 19 approvals already given. The submission deadline is October 30th, and there are still 2 issues to be taken. Remember that there are $50,000 in prizes for winning solutions. And one last reminder that registration closes today, Friday the 22nd. So if you aren't sure about registration, this is your last chance to get in before it closes. And that is it for TLDR this week. My name is Kim. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope to see you next week. See ya.
Boom. Thanks, Kim. That was awesome.
Go Raps.
Yeah.
Nice.
I sorry if I muted a few people. We were just trying to keep the background noise down, but I'll unmute everybody that I muted. We have a couple of demos for you this morning. Flowverse, who is an esteemed ecosystem partner, has provided a video. Kim, are we ready to show that one to everyone?
Yes, we certainly are.
Awesome.
Give me one momento.
And for people that don't know, Flowverse is kind of a one-stop shop to see all the cool stuff happening on Flow. Remember to click on the stream tile if you're in Discord, and again, adjust that volume.
Cool. Here we go.
Hey everyone. So my name's James and this is Nish, and together we're the founders of Flowverse. So you might have heard of us recently as we've been hosting FlowFest in our Discord alongside our friends, the First Mit. So FlowFest, as you can see on our landing page, is a 7-week event that's showcasing all of the amazing projects and NFT drops on Flow. We currently have 65,000 people in our Discord who have joined in on the festivities. And I'll now hand over to Nish to give a bit more of a background into why we built Flowverse.
Yeah, no, that was a great intro, James. So why Flowverse, essentially? To put a long story short, we first heard about Dapper in 2017 with CryptoKitties, but really got into Flow blockchain and generally blockchain last year, actually. After finding it through scrolling through Twitter, we were really drawn to Flow's mission to reach 1 billion users and gain mainstream adoption by building user-friendly projects built on blockchain technology. We were also really impressed at how Flow blockchain had landed multiple partnerships with blue chip companies. such as the NBA, UFC, Ubisoft, Samsung, and Warner Music Group, and etc. Personally, I'm a massive basketball fan and football fan, so the NBA partnership really caught my attention, and I was hooked on the get-go. However, we quickly found it really hard to keep track of the whole ecosystem, as it was actually progressing really fast. So we decided to build a Twitter profile initially, and then a portal, as we thought it was a good way to keep track of everything happening on Flow. And this would we also thought that this would really be helpful for people who love Flow like us at the same time. So we were essentially like, why not, right?
Yeah, for sure. So to give a quick intro to what Flowverse is, it's an independent central hub and discoverability platform for Flow blockchain projects. And so what this means is that if someone wants to find out information on what's happening on Flow, they can come to our site and find all the different projects and upcoming NFT drops.
Yeah, and James, if you go to the upcoming drop section, I can talk a bit more about that. So at the moment, we have an NFT Drops Calendar to highlight all upcoming NFT drops on Flow, an ever-growing directory of Flow projects, a list of investors who are supporting the ecosystem, and a page for detailed research into Flow projects, where we have partnered with Block Venture. Please definitely let us know if your project or drop isn't included on the Flowverse site. There's a ton of projects there probably that are not on the site as well. So this would be great. And this can be done by clicking the buttons at the bottom of any page where it says list my Flow project or list my Flow drop. Or feel free to hit us up on Twitter and Discord with NFT drop times, and we can include them as well.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on then, I suppose a major feature that we've recently launched is the Flow blockchain rankings page. And this page is actually powered by our friends at Graphel, who are an outstanding team, and we'd definitely recommend anyone work with them. So we always knew that Flow had a huge diversity of projects with over 140 listed on our site. But we wanted to really add a bit more color to the Flow blockchain ecosystem and show off the usage that some of these projects are getting. And so this is what inspired us to create the rankings page specific to Flow projects. So obviously sites like this do exist for other blockchains, but nothing solely focused on Flow. In terms of some of the information that we display on this page, we include both primary and secondary market information. So where the primary market is from the initial sale of NFTs, and then the secondary market is owner-to-owner transactions post the initial sales event. At the moment, the secondary market information is all recorded on chain, and it's calculated from Graphel, and the information includes transaction volume, the percentage change in the transaction volume, the number of users, this is the number of distinct buyers and sellers of the NFT, and the number of transactions occurring. And then we have different splits as well. So 7 days, 30 days, and 60 days at the moment. And we'll be looking to add all time relatively soon.
Ooh.
The next part is the primary market. And so the primary market at the moment is self-reported all-time primary market sales. And so this information is not recorded on chain, coming directly from projects themselves, and is something that we'll definitely be looking to automate later on post Flowfest. At the moment, we have 17 projects on our primary market, from NBA Top Shot. NBA Top Shot is doing pretty well, as you can see, at 90 mil sales and 15 mil NFTs sold. And in the secondary market, we have 12 projects on the 7-day leaderboard, and 13 in the 60-day leaderboard at the moment. Definitely, if you want to be included on this page, feel free to message us on Discord or Graphel on Discord, or hit us up on Twitter as well, as we're definitely in the process of building out more of a pipeline to incorporate as many projects as we can. So we'd definitely love to include your Flow project on this page.
Yeah, no, that's great explanation, James. Really, I'm personally really looking forward to seeing this rankings page grow out as more flow projects, as we can like gather more information on these flow projects. But apart from our website, we aim to consistently produce content and infographics on our Twitter page. And we have a growing community on Discord where we now have just over 65,000 members. If you want to follow us on Twitter or join the Flowers community on Discord to chat all things Flow or just hang out really with other Flow fans, you can find our social links at the bottom of every page or in the navigation bar at the top. If anyone has any collaboration ideas for how we can highlight your projects or even working together, please let us know and we're happy to help out.
Awesome. No, that's good stuff, Nish. I think that's pretty much it for our presentation today. If anyone has any questions in the follow-up, I know this won't be live, being pre-recorded in advance, but just like message us on Discord or Twitter, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Sweet. Love that. It's nice to have the big picture of what's happening all in one place. And it's really cool that they're leveraging other community projects to facilitate that. So that's some composability right there, sort of. Kim, do we want to have our friend BZ demo Basic Beast?
Yeah, I think we're ready for you, BZ.
Right on. BZ, you want to take us away? You may want to unmute, share your screen if you're around.
Yeah, sorry, I just got a phone call, so like I just like my laptop just like went crazy, but it's all right now. Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for letting me have this demo. I'll share my screen in just a moment.
Awesome, we're happy to have you. Thanks for taking the time to do it.
And yeah, I'll just give a moment if you want to introduce. So basically, what Basic Beast is it's like a collectibles game, kind of like CryptoKitties inspired by Pokemon also. So it's we thought it, like me and my brother, we thought it could be fun like to create NFTs where like it would be more like interactive than just like art. Of course, there's like a lot of appreciation for that. But yeah, it's basically a game that we are building on Flow, where you're able to collect, evolve, breed, and trade your beast. This is actually the application right now. And I also want to like give a big shout out to Gisentology and Versus and Blockto, and of course the Flow team, like for helping us building that. Because I really think it's incredible, like how fast you get a response here by being in the Flow family. What I can demo is that, as you can see, it's quite easy because of Blockto. It's easy to just create a dApp where you can connect your wallet. You are able to purchase and have it all like handle through transactions here. So that's basically how they can like purchase. It's very similar to the way Top Shot has been made. And later, this is like the drop structure for this NFT is, or for these packs, is that, it's not like a first come, first serve basis. So you have like 72 hours to submit your orders. And then later on, you'll find out if you, will be distributed an NFT. Otherwise, you'll get a refund. To talk more about that, about Basic Beasts, then the way the packs are, it's randomized, and you don't know what you're getting. Right now, it's a small pool of beasts. There'll be a total of 50 unique beasts in the packs, and right now there's like 5. So we will have more drops besides the Genesis drop, and the longer times goes and we have more drops, the more unique beasts will be there, and it's more difficult to get a specific beast. So it will be easier just to get them from breeding. We'll also have evolution, where you'll need 3 of the same beast to basically fuse them together to create one new, like, higher level beast. We'll create a deck score, and the deck score is basically what you want to increase, and in order to receive like some tokens. And lastly, also there's like a special number 151, like it's a reference from Pokemon. That special beast is one that you can only get by acquiring all the other beasts. And how do you get there? Well, you evolve, you breed, you trade, so you can have a lot of fun with that. So we'll also have a marketplace for beast trading. Right now our drop is actually today, for the next like 72 hours, and people can follow us on Twitter. And right now we're doing a giveaway where we're actually giving out like 50% of this Genesis sale to 10 winners who participate on Twitter, and the top 10, the top 3 referrers on our Discord. In a few hours also, I'll be posting out a $50 giveaway that will run for like 12 hours on Twitter as well. So I hope you will participate in that as well. Then we also have our Discord, where we're having a lot of fun with inviting and just meeting people. I hope also for those who are interested, want to join there. We also have a Sonic from Floaty.io in there, and Maro from Evolution. And the Evolution team, they have done amazingly. I believe they're like on Flowverse, they're like top 3, best performing sales. So that's really interesting. And we recently got listed on Flowverse as well. So you can follow our drop from there, and that's basically it. I don't know if anyone have questions.
Thanks, BZ. Yeah, if you have questions, we'd love to hear them. First of all, that was really cool. Thank you for demoing that. Really excited about your drop and about your DApp just coming to life on Flow. Anybody that's building on Flow, we want to help you realize the vision of what it is you're setting out to create. And it just so happens that you're in a great place to talk about doing exactly that. We're gonna in just a moment break out into the Cadence room, the FCL/SDK room, so that you can go in and talk to the folks that live and breathe this stuff. And they're going to be a great resource for you to get your questions answered and to kind of get your footing for building on Flow. In this room, we generally kind of stick to just general the general work of building on Flow. If there's no questions, we'll break out. But are there any questions going once?
BZ, that was great. Just going to ask if you would drop a link into the chat so people can follow and check it out real quick. That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Good call, Greg.
But I also want to mention that yesterday I had a meeting with one of your colleagues from Dapper Labs. I believe his name is Chandan. I was super impressed. It's because I sent my smart contracts for review, and I had a meeting with your colleague. I was so impressed the way he went through all of it regarding the dApp architecture, like all those cases where you could, get issues, and you guys really focus on the user experience. So I'm super grateful for being part of Flow.
Well, so happy to hear that. And yeah, I mean, we hope to do exactly that for you and for everybody that is building on Flow. But yes, user experience, definitely what is paramount. Were there any other questions before we break out? Okay, let's do it. What? Oh, I heard something. Ah, you tricked me. Okay. Well, let's jam on to through the breakout here. Hop into the Cadence room if you want to talk to Cadence folks. Otherwise, jump into the FCL/SDK rooms or hang out in here with us. And we'll just give everybody a minute to get situated. Awesome. I always get a little bummed out when people leave, but we still have a good group here. Luca, I see you've unmuted. Did you want to say hi? How are you?
Hi, good. Hi, Albert. Thanks for having us, as usual. It's great to be in office hours. And I wanted to ask you a question about the Flow token and FUSD, because I saw recently that Kraken is starting to sell Flow token to US and Canada as well, which is big news. And I was wondering if everyone else is going to start following up, like MoonPay especially. So is it actually open to anyone in the world now, the Flow token? Because I was considering to use FUSD to make it available for everyone. But now that Flow is available to US as well, I'm considering to actually use Flow instead. So what do you think?
That's a great question. We don't really manage who sells Flow or where it's available. We kind of let the exchanges figure that out for themselves. With that said, there are a lot of developers that are choosing to accept Flow, and I think that's exciting. But yeah, I don't really have any strong comments there, Luke, I'm afraid. I think you kind of have to use your best judgment and figure out what makes sense for your usership. If you think Flow is a good way to go, I would encourage you to pursue that.
Yeah, I think I was waiting to things to get unlocked because I thought there was a legal block for some reason, but now I see that somehow it got unlocked on Kraken, so hopefully it should continue to be available in more and more places. So yeah, I think I might actually switch to Flow now.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Our pleasure.
Hey,
so,
guys.
Hey, what's up? Who do we have?
It's Phil. Hiya.
What's going on, Phil? How you doing?
Yeah, not much. I've just got a quick question. I've built something for FlipFest, and I was thinking of possibly doing a demo next week on it. So who would I get in contact to about this?
Well, hold on. What's your hurry, Phil? Can you tell us a little more? We can certainly put you in touch with Kim. Would probably be good for that. Kim, what do you say? Who would you like to help Phil?
You could reach out to me directly, Phil, and I could get you set up for next week.
Okay, cool, brilliant. I'll give you a quick kind of like 2-sentence overview of what it is. It's just I've put together some AWS services that allow people to deploy their own event listener, and it's a CloudFormation kind of script, and it's got all the all the code as part of it and everything. So it's something hopefully the community can kind of build upon and kind of improve upon if they're into it, really.
That's rad. Can you tell us a little bit about your architecture? What was it? Did you go with a serverless approach by chance?
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. So I have a Lambda function that is invoked every 6 seconds, I think it is, by AWS step functions, and it queries the Flow blockchain for events, and it gathers those events and it writes them to DynamoDB and exposes an API endpoint. So front ends, if you've got a marketplace, for example, you can read from the DynamoDB database and populate your marketplace on the front end with all of the listings.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And yeah, wow. Really appreciate you doing that and sharing that with everybody. Yeah, I think that will be super valuable to many teams.
Yeah, I'm no expert on AWS. I don't claim to be, but hopefully, I mean, I've put together a CloudFormation script as well, so people can deploy it and kind of play around with it and so on. So, yeah, hopefully people have a little look at it, I think.
Well, that was very thoughtful of you, Phil, to make it as easy as possible. And I look forward to playing with that and just making people aware of it. So really, really appreciate your work on that.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks a lot.
Of course. Thank you. Mac.
What's up?
Well, you had unmuted, so I thought you wanted to.
Oh,
Did you-
just I have itchy fingers. Sorry. But yeah, I looked at Phil. Yeah, I looked at your stuff. It's great. I can't wait to actually see it in action. So let's make sure. Yeah, we can get Phil a demo next week. And I shared what you sent to me with the team, and everyone's kind of excited to see it working. So
brilliant. Thanks a lot, Mac.
Yeah, I think it'll be really useful. I think this idea of like capturing events. We don't have a good solution in the community for it. We have one service provider, but there's room for more. So yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, go on, Phil.
No, I was just going to say that I can imagine at this kind of early stage where, people are kind of learning the ropes and that sort of thing. Even if what I've built is just kind of a demonstration of how you kind of collect these events and how you link into your backends and you use that alongside the blockchain, then, I mean, even if it just ends up as kind of like an educational resource rather than something that people are kind of building out and using on larger scales, I'd be happy with that, I think.
Well, that's most humble of you to say. I think, sure, definitely anything that anyone's built could be used for reference, but it sounds like what you've built will likely be used for its intended purpose. So
hopefully.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, that always happens. We built like the Kitty Items app, and we're sort of like we sort of explicitly call out that this is a demo. It's for your instructional purposes, just as an example. But of course, yeah, many folks like clone it and or attempt to base their project on that source code. So yeah, there is value either way.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome, Phil. Thanks again. So we kind of got a small group here. Does anybody want to just say hello? Tell us what's happening in your world on Flow.
To the verify function, or using your Cadence script in order to verify. So Cadence should be ready to receive multiple keys for verification. However, currently Blockto is only doing the single signing with one key. So perhaps in the future, multi-sig will be a thing and Cadence will be able to handle that. But currently, right, you want to make sure you get the key ID from the return composite signature and use that to verify. And that should be the ticket.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks a lot for clarifying.
Awesome. No problem.
I just fixed the testing section in the guidelines. Apologies again. I will. The document is really in draft stages, so it changes a lot.
quick work.
How far are we now? Yeah.
Well, we can still do it. And I apologize for missing your meeting. There's a lot of different stuff happening, so please don't take it personally. But
Hey guys, I have a quick question. This one would probably be directed at Gregor. I had a quick squiz at the SDK Guidelines page on the Flow website again yesterday, and I noticed that there was some talk about mock services being used for testing. They are currently marked as TBD. Just curious to know what sort of shape those will be in. Will they be like REST services, or will there be any kind of protobuf equivalent? And is there any ETA on those?
Yeah, so we just had a conversation about that section being a bit outdated, so I've just updated it. But yes, to answer your question, that was actually, if I remember correctly, Blue Sign idea for us to provide some kind of API service mocking the responses of the Access API node, and thus allowing you to test your SDK implementation in an end-to-end manner. It would also allow us to keep track of kind of a coverage in a way that if you include the end-to-end testing into your CI environment, we could potentially see which libraries are passing or at least using the APIs, and potentially also if they are passing the test. But that's features going forward. For the first phase, we would just expose the API on a service that mocks the responses from the access nodes. Idea there is also for that service, so it can be hard to maybe I mean if the SDK has a good architecture, you should anyhow have some mocks you should have a way to mock the network responses, but it's even easier in the first phase to just potentially have the Access API mock endpoint, and you can just switch the URL. But yeah, so that's kind of the state of the idea. And if Rusan has some comments on that, if I don't remember wrong, he was the proposer of that. So
I can say a few things about this. It was like my idea about sorry, I had some mic problem. It was the main idea I had was like some kind of make testing on the server side, so we can know about the state of the SDKs when we introduce something new, or for example, like if something changes, if this SDK is like still in the compatible with all the feature sets, stuff like this. Also, it can help, for example, novice people to develop SDKs by providing some examples for how should they sign the transactions, which mock data they can use, stuff like this. So it's like it will be some kind of like a blueprint of the SDK. But I think it is more valuable after we have this HTTP API instead of gRPC. So I think now it is like a little bit stuck there.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I really love the idea of having some kind of like a test framework in place with mock responses. So what I've actually been doing on the Ruby SDK that I'm implementing is I've just I've set up a Docker Compose project and just included the emulator. And so I've just been sending in my unit test, I'm just like hitting the emulator and seeing whether those transactions successfully get signed and processed, etc.
Yeah, it's like one next level of this is like instead of sending to emulator, sending to some like some service, and this service can tell you, for example, okay, you sent me this transaction signed by this, but actually I was expecting the response to be like this, but you sent me this. For example, if you make the like canonical form of the transaction, it can also say, okay, I was expecting this, you sent me this. It's like the same with local testing, but you don't need to write tests for every SDK separately, so it will be like one central location of all
Yeah,
the
that's
tests
cool.
it should pass.
All right. I really dig that idea.
Useful
Nice
service,
suggestion.
yeah.
Yeah, and also like the assertion logic can be, I mean, like Blusign said, the assertion logic would be implemented in one place and also could provide some assistance with the implementation. And yeah, that's really, I hope that we can provide this as soon as possible. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. I wouldn't say it's really related to the HTTP, I mean REST API implementation of the access node, but yeah, a lot of moving parts. So hopefully we can expose this as soon as possible. Maybe I'll use this opportunity just to flag something about the SDK guidelines as well. The documentation part has been changed in this week. I've written documentation, like an updated documentation template, which now includes description, like documentation is generic to the language itself, like the SDK language, the language that SDK was implemented in. So, and anyone implementing an SDK can just provide specific code examples for the functionality in that document. So you can just provide those examples and you would have the documentation completed. And this would be really useful because we would have similar structure of documentation for multiple SDKs. So I encourage everyone trying to do that. Also, generating specifications. It's a great way to stay up to date in the docs and just link that specifications from the docs. And also, specification has a lot of upsides like IntelliSense features in the IDs and stuff like that. So yeah, encourage everyone to try to do that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I found that template, the doc template last night also, and started implementing that for my SDK. That's really rad. Thanks for all the cool stuff that you've been doing on the SDK side.
Yeah, thank you for playing along.
Account address because they have the capability to do that. And in this way, you can keep everything easy because it's under one single account, but then you can control who you want to give the admin resource to.
Right,
So
okay.
So you pass the capability to different accounts, and then you can also revoke them if you want.
Right, okay. Well, that sounds a bit more realistic. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
and
definitely have a separation of concerns there, like he's saying. In case you ever, want to make your contract immutable, which we don't recommend at this point, but one day if you do that, you still need to maintain all of the abilities that the capabilities to mint and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to separate those out, as Lucas so eloquently described.
okay, that's really good. Just on one thing, maybe I don't know if we'll take it offline or not, but yeah, our situation is such that we have many different collections. The most abundant collection actually can have up to 200,000 NFTs minted for just one collection, which is essentially, for example, 10,000 NFTs on a per card basis, and a collection that might have 40 cards. So it's about 200,000. But that's the potentially that's the biggest we would get to. But according to your documentation, yeah, and I think as you said, anything over 100,000 is best to shard out into a separate. So if I got that right, so we would potentially store those NFTs into different different collections within an account. Is that correct?
Yeah. The idea being that you don't want to have to load, a giant collection into memory when you're having to manipulate it and take stuff out of it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. That's
Awesome.
That's everything for now. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much for asking that question.
I have one small question about something I read, I can't remember where, about the possibility that Flow NFT will be listed in OpenSea in the future. Is it actually something that they just imagined, or is it an actual possibility at some point?
I think that's definitely a possibility. I can't. I'm not looking at anything right now, so I don't know the official word on that. But yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as you, Luke. I've seen that somewhere.
Okay.
I think that it will likely eventually happen, but I really can't speak to the timing.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Sorry, I
know. Just to confirm that I didn't imagine it, because so many things, sometimes you cross the wires.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Right on. Yeah. We've got just a few folks in here. Did anybody else want to ask a question? Tell us what you got going on.
People to use
like
it.
what sort of things would be like? Is it just the typography and then maybe the logo and then the color palette, so something like that, or were you thinking something different?
And the
like I don't know, like some kind of like from like wireframes to designs and like everything. I was thinking, to be honest.
Mac, I might be dreaming here, but I do believe that I came across the dev wallet Figma at some point. Is that open for like viewers?
It's there is a dev wallet Figma. I don't know. Maybe it was shared. I'm not aware.
I saw that too, for sure. It's like even I was like sometime. Also there's like one more thing. It is in the GitHub. It is very hard to separate people who is working for Flow or like who is like outsiders. It's like sometimes very confusing.
That's funny. No, I mean, there's nothing private about it. That was just kind of the intermediate work. But the reason we didn't open source it was because we don't have
works for Flow. No, just
yeah, like we don't have like a full design guide yet. Like, if we release
I think
it,
that getting those getting like a builder kit or something like that with some of the basic design elements that we use like in our products is a good idea.
Yeah. Just like, for example, like how to show the address and stuff. In Dev Wallet, it is like amazing.
Yeah, and like standard padding and like margins and things like that always come in handy.
Yeah, we could share our like syntax highlighting code as well too. I think that'd be useful.
Yeah, any
like for
give you time so you can focus on the code. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we're trying to get a designer on Flow. That would really help us out.
About the comment on people on GitHub and knowing which one are part of the team. Can we do that? Something about that? Maybe Srindra, or if anyone knows, maybe have some badges or But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say in general, like anything on GitHub is public, and so we encourage people to look through there. Anything private, we'll make sure it's not public. But yeah, if you see something on GitHub, it's fair game. Like you can use it, you can take it. Yeah, it's all open sourced under the license.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
there's like just the problem is like for example if somebody is like sending a pull request or if somebody is commenting on something, we don't know that if it is like from the employee of the flow or like he is like some like open source contributor. So
yeah,
it's
like
like when I am
role
replying my
based.
comments, like I am trying to always be soft, just in case.
Right.
When you can be much harder with us.
Yeah, so probably like a way to, I don't know, distinguish between,
Yeah, for
employees
example,
or
here in Discord you are all green,
yeah,
so it is good.
exactly. Yeah. So maybe like a badge or something. I actually am not familiar with like about this on GitHub, so we can take a
Yeah, I
look
was
at
under the
this.
assumption it was like that. I got to take another look. Sindra, did you know?
Yeah, you should be able to add yourself to the Flow. There's like a Flow group that on GitHub.
Organization.
Yeah, Flow organization. Sorry. Yeah. So if you're not added there, you can definitely add you. But that's how you can know. So if you click onto the GitHub profile, you'll be able to see they're part of the Flow org.
Yeah, but that only shows on the profile of the user, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
like
doesn't like not people putting that for sure. I guess it's like
Like there's no badge on the sidebar or on any of the contribution stuff, huh?
yeah, or I don't know. Like it's like sometimes it is confusing because like I had this situation with this like DPS development. I thought it is like Flow's development, this what Optact is doing. But it was like they are like some outsiders. But actually they are not outsiders. It is getting confusing really fast.
As we grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so the DPS team I think is so they're a contracted team, so they know a lot about one particular side, but they're not really involved in like the rest of Flow, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of a side project, but I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's confusing who's a contractor and who's like not. Yeah.
Yeah, the contributors on the sidebar, it's just all. I guess that's a GitHub thing. If it's, can't badge it.
I'll hand out some NFTs or something and get people to put their addresses in.
Yeah, or like a ring around profile pic, green ring or something.
By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to everyone developing the SDKs. It's been really awesome going through through your implementations and actually seeing the patterns you established. And we are learning a lot from that, and also we'll probably changing the Go SDK based on that. And I think it's really cool because it's like these patterns are starting to evolve, and I think that we should all take a look at other SDKs and try to kind of learn from that. So yeah, shout out to everyone doing that. So are there any more questions? We have a couple of minutes left. fun question, maybe then. Who would prefer implementing the REST API over gRPC, implementing the SDK again?
Like everyone?
Everyone.
Yeah, okay, good, good to know.
Yeah, it is like gRPC is like maybe good for node to node communication, but like from like node to user, it's not that.
Yeah,
Like I am always having fun with James about like he's closing all the issues about like upgrading gRPC web and stuff all the time. It is somehow like automated cycle. Like all the problems coming from this gRPC is like unbelievable on the FCL.
We hear you. It's I know he says, I'm sure he says coming soon, but coming soon for sure.
Yeah.
We're all looking forward to that switch, I think. Be a nice celebration.
yeah, we will support both APIs, but I'm interesting to see how many of the SDK will switch to the REST API implementation. I personally also think the REST API is easier to implement and understand, and like the whole UX is better. But yeah, there's good arguments for gRPC too. But yeah, I can be pain.
Well, now that you've dangled that carrot, it depends on whether there's probably another flip fest or not.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
This is a great combo, folks. Rounding it up. Any last ones? We got a couple new people popped in at the end. Was there any questions you wanted to ask in the last couple minutes? Comments? Arguments for gRPC? All right. Well, thank you all for joining us once again.
Thanks all.
Hope you have a wonderful weekend. And join us again next week.
Yeah,
thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone. Have a great weekend.
Have a nice
Take
weekend.
care now.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll have office hours again next week. For those of you who are still in the live stream, have yourself a great weekend.